Louise, thank you so much for joining me on the Sober Sofa. So, today we're just going to talk a little bit about how you found me, the work that we've done together in terms of coaching and the Sober program. So, I don't know if you want to just introduce yourself and talk a little bit about that. That'd be great.
So I'm Louise, living in Jersey. How did I find you? Well, initially I came to you for one-to-one coaching. Initially, actually, I didn't come for sober coaching, I came for life coaching, but as we found out through a little bit of pre-work, that it turned into sober coaching. That's why I was drawn to you, I think. Well, we know that's why I was drawn to you. And that's how we started on the one-to-one sessions, which were amazing. And I think then I moved on to the group program, which was just such a great experience. So nice to have a group of people who are supporting each other on the same journey, understanding what you're going through, and anything that crops up, and to celebrate each other and have that support. And obviously to have you there, Jo, to guide us. But there's a difference, I think, between the one-to-one and the group. And I've done both. So I think the group for me was a completely different experience. It's like a little tribe together, a nice tribe of people working together, and you want to come every week and share what's happened, whether it is good or bad, and there's no judgment.
And do you think that you would have done the group without having done the private coaching first, or?
I don't know. The group wasn't really, it started after I'd done the one-to-one, didn't I?
Yes.
The one-to-one was amazing because I got you for a whole hour to myself. And it was just me, but it's a different feeling, and I think it's what the group is a different feeling to one-to-one. I think it's your preference, whichever you would find better. The group for me, I loved it because the connection with the other people on it, the other girls on it, just lifts you up a bit and gives you that, I don't know if the word is accountability almost. You want to come back next week and be like, guess what? I've done another week without having any alcohol, or this happened actually. Has anyone got any advice, or talking through with people who are going through exactly the same thing?
And the group had 5 people, so it's always a maximum of 5 people, so that there's enough space for everybody to really share what's come up for them that week. Did you think that was a nice amount of people to have in the group?
Yes, I do actually, because it's everybody gets enough time then. You're not rushed. Some weeks you come and you talk for a bit longer, or you've got something else to share. It was a nice group of people, a nice amount of people. You're not lost in a crowd. It's still got that personal feel. But you've got the little, like I say, tribe or connection with the other people as well. So it's like extra support.
And we start each session with like a little meditation or some tapping or something, just to kind of like level everybody out, because the sessions start at 7 o'clock in the evening. So often people are rushing from their day-to-day life to kind of get there and be there. How did you find that?
I think you need it. You need that at the start, because like you say, you're walking home from work, you get in at 5:30, quickly put the tea on, sort the kids out, whatever you're doing, and then you're like rushing for 7 o'clock. And I think unless you've had that few minutes just to tap into yourself, you're not ready to share and to fully be present in the group, because you've still got that momentum of moving on to the next thing. Like after this, I've got to put the kids to bed, or after that, that relaxing. You're like, oh, right, this is where my space for an hour. This is what we're doing for the next hour. I think it's needed to get in the moment.
Definitely. And everybody who was in the group were at different stages of their journey. So as you've said, you'd done the private coaching for 12 weeks before going into that. So you were maybe at a slightly different part of your journey than somebody who was curious before going into the group and then had joined. Do you think that that really benefited the group, having different people at different stages?
Yeah, I did actually. I don't think you all have to be at the same stage. It's the mindset. If you're into for the group, it doesn't make a difference if somebody's a bit ahead of you or you're on day. All those different experiences, you're helping each. And say I was a little bit further ahead than was on day one, so I had tips or something, maybe been the same, to try this, or this isn't working for me. But then the other way around as well, I was struggling with journaling, and one of the ladies who'd started her journey after me suggested it a different way, and I was like, wow, that's great. Now I've changed a complete way. So you're learning from each other.
I think that's the key thing, isn't it? It's the learning from each other that is so powerful. Like for me, on my journey, hearing other people's sober stories really, really helped me. And I learn from each client that I coach too. It's you know, an exchange at the end of the day. And so you found the accountability helpful each week.
Yes, I did. And I also found, obviously you get the email with the almost like the self-work to be done every week. Very intuitive, and you have to put time in to do it before the next meeting. So it keeps it fresh in your mind almost throughout the week. That, you know, you're not just, right, shut the laptop and we're not coming back. You've got that work to do, and you know you don't want to let yourself down before the next week. Obviously there are times where whatever's happened, you know, I don't know, your kitchen's flooded and you've not been able to do it, but there's no judgment. You still work through it on the call with everyone else. But yeah, the accountability, you don't want to show up and have not done the work, or have, you know, maybe had a slip up. It does happen, obviously, it's life, but it kind of gives you that little bit more of a team feeling.
Yeah.
You don't want to let the team down.
You're showing up for yourself and for each other. And when you do show up, like you say, if you haven't had the time for whatever reason to really sit down and do that particular week, you're then benefiting from hearing everybody else speak about it, which then makes you sit and reflect on that. So it's then making you do that work in a way that maybe if you were doing it self-guided, you might not do. So self-guided has a place for some people who want to, you know, they're very good at doing something for themselves and they know that they can turn up and do the work every week for themselves. But if you're somebody who knows that you need that extra level of accountability, then having a group or doing the private coaching can work really well for that, because then you've got a space to really talk it through with somebody.
Yeah, 100%. I think, like you say, the self-guided, it's got a place. For my personality, I know I would have left it all to the end or rushed through it at the beginning. I needed it to be set out in this way. If the group or the one-to-one, both of them, well, a mix of the both have been great for me. But yeah, you need that. I need that accountability.
And so it's 12 weeks. You have different prompts each week, which guides you through the journey of real self-discovery and reflection. And you have a journal that's been created. So this journal is something that I created for myself, really, because there was nothing like this for me when I first became sober curious over 3.5 years ago, back in 2018, when I started looking at sobriety. I couldn't find anything like this. I knew that AA wasn't the right space for me. And so on this journey, I've wanted to create something that appeals to me, that's colorful, that's bright, that's vibrant. And so, yeah, so I created a journal, which is a PDF that you can type into, or you could print out and you could just write on it if you're somebody who likes to put pen to paper. How did you find the journaling experience throughout the program?
Loved it. I really liked the fact that there is almost the mood tracker. So that really helped me actually when I looked back over the last few days to say, I feel fantastic today. And then maybe the next day you didn't. And you'd be like, oh, why? Why is that? What's happened? You know, so you can work it out. That I loved that. That was really helpful for me, the mood tracker. And I used mine, I typed into mine as a PDF, which is so convenient, really, because what do we do when it's something that you're supposed to be doing for yourself? It gets pushed to the bottom of the list, doesn't it? So that's really quick and easy. I've changed my style a bit now. Now I like to write out. So either way, but with me having it on my computer, I could just do it at whatever time of the day, or actually I've got a feeling right now, I'm going to put it in the journal. You know, it's convenient. Yeah, I loved it. I loved that it's got the diary in it, and the links to everything is really helpful as well, because if you're like me and you've got an inbox full of emails, the links in the diary are really helpful to the group meetings and stuff like that. Yeah, and it's just gorgeous to look at as well.
And that was a big thing for me. I wanted it to be something that you enjoy, that you have that kind of ritual around, you know, that was really important.
Yeah, not like a test or a test paper. It's something nice and you're creating on it almost.
Definitely. And so how long have you been sober for now, Louise?
Joe, 6 months in a day I am today.
Oh my God, I love it. 6 months. That's 6 epic. Months.
Yeah, I actually forgot that it was like my sober-versary, because I've stopped counting the days.
Which is amazing.
At the beginning, yeah, which is a big thing in itself. Now it just feels like not the norm. So, but it is a massive milestone, and I'm really proud of myself.
It really is.
And it wouldn't have been able to do it without you.
No, you've been absolutely amazing. But that's the thing, from the moment that you signed up, you're like, let's do this. You know, you chose a charity, which is part of the program as well. You know, chose a charity to support, again, for that extra level of accountability. And, you know, you said, you didn't go, okay, I'm going to do this for 12 weeks. You went, I'm going to do a year. I'm going to sign up to a year. I'm going to, you know, really invest in myself. And now the charity, it's a bonus rather than the thing that's really holding you accountable. You know, it's a bonus that you've raised money for charity. So how much money have you raised for charity so far?
I started out, I think my target was £365, because I thought, if nobody sponsors me because they think she won't be able to do it, it's £1 a day and I'll be able to do that. I'm close to £800 now. I know.
That's amazing.
And that's halfway through. So I've still got 6 months left to keep going. And I will be so proud to hand over that money. I'm proud now. I am proud of myself today. Yeah,
you should be proud on so many levels. That's the thing. When you're raising money for something that you really care about, you know, it's that extra level, isn't it, of accountability. 100%. And it's why I find it a really important step.
Yes, definitely.
Fab. And what other benefits have you experienced through doing the program and through sobriety? at the end of the day? Because that's the point of the program.
There's so many, and there are. Anxiety is massively reduced. No beer fear. Confidence is gone, through the roof. Better sleep, lovely sleep. Better skin. I've lost weight. I'm more active. I've got more time. I've done so many things that I just wouldn't have done if I was still drinking or I had a hangover. Every area of my life that has been touched by not drinking, which is my whole life basically. There's no negative, there's a positive that's come out of it. Relationships are better, friendships are better, everything.
I love that. And so if there was somebody saying to you, okay, Louise, I think that my relationship with alcohol is a negative one. I'm pretty sure it is. And I'm thinking of stopping drinking. I've seen Sober Joe's program and I'm just not sure. What would you say to them?
Just do it. Just do it. If you're thinking about it and you've got that thought already, you've come to that conclusion in your head. If you're thinking, I'm not sure it's a bad relationship, it is a bad relationship. And make the change. Make the change. You won't regret it. You definitely won't regret it. You will have a lovely group, support group, help for you to go through every stage of the next 12 weeks, which is the hardest bit. And then your life's going to be fabulous. So get on with it.
That's the thing, isn't it? Sometimes it's like, I'll wait until or after then. And it's like,
there's always something. There's always a function. There's always going to be Christmas. There's always going to be something's birthday. There's always going to be a do. Never going to be a period in your life where you're going to go, oh, for the next 6 months I've got no plans, so I'm going to give up alcohol. You've just got to take the plunge, I think, and go for it. You won't regret it. It's very, very hard to see it at the beginning, and I know that from personal experience, but you will get so much more out of life. Yeah.
And when you look at the money saved through not drinking alcohol, actually, when you then look at the investment in doing the program.
Yeah. I mean, you just have to look at how much is a bottle of wine? If you work it out like that, if you sat down and actually wrote down what you were spending on alcohol, you'd probably be quite surprised, actually. So it probably weighs itself out anyway, and it's an investment into yourself. And that's it. You're investing in yourself, really, aren't you? I am 100% a better version of myself now than I was before.
Thank you. Thank you so much for those powerful, wise words. Love the bones of you, Louise. Have absolutely adored working with you and seeing you progress on your journey. And I cannot wait to see what's next for you.
Thank you.
Mwah.